Hello, 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 good evening, happy Friday. How are we all doing? Hi, Jamie. Hi, Jamie. How are we all doing? Right, okay, so it's Friday Threads. And this Friday, I'm going to be working, as I showed you yesterday, on this mushroom embroidery with that little cute little snail on the top. And I got this kit from Temu and I thought it looked cute, so I thought I've not done embroidery for like, oh my god, over a year. But I noticed this always happens to me, right? This always happens to me is I'll be scrolling through, like, say, YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, and it will suggest things to me. Yep, big up Temu. It will suggest things to me, usually amongst all the different sort of arts and making and crafting. And I see something and I go, oh, I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. I'll give that a try. And it just sends me down a rabbit hole. And the last time I did embroidery, like I said, was like over a year ago, and it was that fox embroidery that I showed you on stream. And I'd seen these other embroiderers making some amazing things, pet portraits, human portraits, using thread painting. And I thought, well, I'm not there yet. Not there yet by any stretch of the imagination. So I saw this and I thought, this looks cute. I like it. I was already drawing a mushroom, as you know, and I thought I kind of like the colours on that. So this kit came with all the colours, as you can see, a starter kit, and it's all been numbered and sorted out for me. But because I'm a stitcher, I'm now embarrassingly going to show you my stash of embroidery threads, okay? Because I might not just stick to these. I mean, there's a nice range of purples, but I feel I might want to blend some of the colours a little bit more, and so I will need some other colours. Other disgusting vegetables are available, yes. So I've got all of these colours to choose from. So let me just... So I've got all of these. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. Some of them pre-sorted onto little bobbins, as you can see, with their corresponding number. Got loads of spares, lots of jewel tones there, so they might come in handy. That's one box. And I have a second box that's also just as full, because I used to do this a lot. And yeah, I think I've got one of everything, possibly. I think there may be a few colours that I'm missing in the whole DMC range. I have no idea what sort of threads Temu have sent me. I don't know if it's DMC, but I mean, it feels nice. So we shall see. It came with some very interesting instructions. I don't know how to show you. It says, the instructions are called warm tips. So, yeah, you know, we all want warm tips, don't we? So, you know, but some of them don't make much sense when you're reading them through. So this is pretty much the instructions that I've got, pointing out which colours to use and how many strands. Now it says 3 strands, but there's no way I'm doing thread painting with 3 strands because it just won't blend very well. So I'm just going to use 1. And just see how we go with that. So I'm going to start on the snail first of all. Well, exactly. Who's got warm tips in this weather, you know? But I just love I just love how some of the instructions read. Like, it says here, French bean embroidery. What they mean is French knots. There's no such thing as a French bean. So it says, knot the thread and thread it out from the bottom cloth. There is no number 2. It just goes straight to 3. And it says, wrap the thread around the needle. 4. Thread it into the bottom cloth. There's only one cloth, so there's no top cloth, there's no bottom cloth, so I don't get that. Next to the first needle. We've only got one needle. Tighten it evenly and slowly up and down. Slowly up and down, okay? These are your warm tips. Finished. I just think some of these things have not been translated very well, and they just make me laugh. I was reading them out to Nick earlier. Let's see if there's any other funny ones. Like this one. Okay, this one. For contour embroidery, it says, knot the thread and thread it out from the bottom cloth. Thread it into the bottom cloth at about 0.7 centimeters and embroider with a straight needle. None of those curved needles, none of those, spiral needles, I'm guessing, but a straight needle. When the embroidery thread is not fully tightened, put the needle in again about 0.2 centimeters away from the second needle. So I'm guessing we need to get our rulers out here. After tightening, put the bottom cloth in. Repeat the above steps to finish. So, they're not great instructions, but we're going to do our best. We're going to do our best and see where we get with it. So, I'm going to start off with this lovely little snail at the top. And I think it says number 13 for the outer part of the snail. So, number 13. So I'll get me number 13 thread. And we'll see how we get on. Right, okay. I don't think I'm going to use that great big long length of thread because it would just knot. So I'm going to cut it in half. Great, not the best pair of scissors. Okay. Right, so I've got a little needle minder here. This is my little llama friend. And it's got a little magnet on the back so that I can just drop my needle there and I won't lose it. I've got so many different needle minders. I went through a stage of collecting ones that had black cats on because I thought that was cute and I wanted a theme, because back in the day, many years ago, I used to do cross stitch, embroidery, crochet, all that sort of thing on YouTube, and I used to do it quite regularly. I think I used to do like one episode every fortnight, something, so that gave me plenty of time to make something. Yeah, the good old days. When YouTube was in black and white, Jamie? Yeah, back then. And yeah, It was good fun, but then I very much began to feel like there was a pressure because I had 2 weeks, and cross stitching sometimes can be really slow going. And you would have 2 weeks, and I'd have nothing really that new to show. And I used to feel like, oh, I've got to work on it all the time. And so every time I had a spare moment, I would get the cross stitch out, and it no longer became something. Yeah, when computers were powered by coal, yeah, and hamsters in wheels. But it no longer became something that I enjoyed because it became something that I had to do. And when it became something that I had to do, it almost became like a job, and I lost enthusiasm for it, and so I just stopped doing it. And I remember James told me off actually because I didn't have loads of followers. I had like 300 followers on YouTube, and it was going up every week. And he was like, "Mum, you should not have stopped that. You should have carried on." But I was just like, it just, I don't know. It just felt like pressure, and I prefer things to be enjoyable. So the pattern for this is already printed on the canvas, as you can see. And I've tightened it up in this wooden hoop. Timu sent as part of the kit like a plastic hoop, and it was bad. It was bad. It didn't allow me to tighten the thread as much as I wanted. I mean, tighten the material, because you want this to be tight like a drum. Back when computers were powered by coal. You're a cheeky little so-and-so sometimes. But yeah, I've seen some fabulous embroideries just lately. So good. Some really good ones. I couldn't find my desk frame. I normally have a frame. It's fine. I normally have a frame that sits on the desk so that I don't actually have to hold this hoop. And then that way I can sort of stitch two-handed, but I couldn't find it. Nick stashed it away in the garage somewhere. And has then piled loads of other things on top of it. But I've already discovered something about this already, even though I've only just started, and it's that this red mark on top of the fabric, if you catch it with your needle, it's flaking off. So I think I might have to get some tape. And use the sticky side of the tape just to sort of pick off some of this red stuff, because otherwise it's going to be quite annoying. See, it's coming off quite a bit. But I had these two Timo kits arrive at the beginning of the week, and I've been sort of kind of dying to start them, but I thought, no, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to start them on Friday's stream. I've been dying to get back into my stitching. I haven't done it for such a long time. I've got a massive cross-stitch project downstairs, and it's huge. It's called the Poison Garden, and it features all the plants that are poisonous to humans. But it's presented in such a beautiful way, But I haven't touched it in ages because there just seems to be so many other things that I want to do, and I'm very good at starting things, as Becca will tell you. I'm very good at starting things, and I really have to concentrate I can see a bit of it I've missed. I really have to concentrate to go back and finish things off. How's the cat blanket thingy coming along? The cat blanket thingy, I was really annoyed because I started that square last week, and it wasn't until after the stream finished that I realised I'd gone wrong on one of the colours. That I'd coloured in a sort of light purple colour when it needed to be black. So there was a huge section that needed pulling undone. So I've pulled it back, and I need to work on. See, that red stuff's coming off. So I need to pull it back, and I need to restart that square. Hey, Arts. But I'm terrible at starting things and then not finishing them. I do it with TV programs, you know, like say there's a show that I'm watching, and it's got like 10 episodes in a season. I will watch up till about episode 8, and then I'll be like, oh, I don't need to go back to that anymore. I'm fine. I don't have any need to find out how it ends, or I just sort of get to a point where I'm just like, nope, don't need to watch that anymore. And I'll start projects, and then I'll see another shiny project that I want to do that sort of grabs my attention because it's come up on YouTube or Instagram or anything like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that, and I'll start that. And Becca used to tell me off about it, and I used to feel really guilty about it, and then obviously that was when I started to strongly suspect my ADHD. And I was like, you know what? That's just a part of it, that you start things and you have to be interested and motivated. It has to be novel and exciting, and it has to be a challenge to make me keep returning to it. But I will get back to things eventually. It's just that everything has its time in the sun, right? So for a while my cross stitch will have a time in the sun, and then I'll go off that for a bit and I'll go on to my crochet, and that will have its time in the sun, and then I will stop and I will go and do something else, and then I might go back to the cross stitch, and I have lots of things going at once, but I come back to them. Let me just dangle this. When you keep pulling the thread through the fabric, it twists, and that's when you're more likely to get knots. So I just stop every now and again and just let the needle dangle from underneath, and it untangles itself. But does anyone else do that? You sort of start stuff with all the intentions of finishing it, of seeing it through to the end. Hang on, no, that's the wrong place. All the time. I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's not just me getting told off by my daughter. I think that's why the streaming my art has actually been really good for me, because it makes me finish things. I did go back to a lot of the projects that I started in my when I had my cross-stitching YouTube channel, my crafty channel. I did go back and start picking off all the projects that I'd started and started finishing them off. And it was quite nice to sort of have that break. I think sometimes we push ourselves to do things because we feel we ought to, rather than finishing things because we want to. And I think it's just about, finding what moves you in that moment and going with it. That's my warm tip for the day. I don't think I've ever... well done. See, and this is why you're a comedy writer, Jamie. That was good. This is Witcher music, isn't it? Toss a coin to your Witcher. Love that show. It was so confusing the first season because it jumped back and forth through time, but it didn't tell you that it was jumping back and forth through time, so you're sort of trying to keep up with it. I think I had to watch it twice, but again, I only did 3/4 of the season because I didn't bother to find out how it ended, and I still don't know because I still haven't gone back to it. I thought it was a typo. You don't hear any music? Oh, hang on. Let me see. Tell me when you can hear the music. Hang on. Is that too loud? Let me know if you can hear it or not. Yeah, that's better. Cool. It's always a balance trying to work out whether something's really loud in my headphones or whether it's too loud for you guys. You just turn your headset up or down. Yeah. I've got a I do have like a volume control on the headphones, but I find that if I alter it for stream, when I go to say play Valo with Nick later or any of the gang, they can't hear me. That's probably a good thing. But either they can't hear me or I can't hear them very well, and so I try not to fiddle with the settings on the headphones and the setting on the computer. But OBS is its own particular little beastie, isn't it? So just as a quick reminder, guys, seeing you here, there'll be no stream on Monday evening because I've got an appointment that I need to keep. Got to go and have an x-ray on my ankle, and they've given me a really weird time for an x-ray. It's like 5:40 in the evening, but I just know there's going to be all the waiting around, sitting in the waiting room, waiting to be called. Hospitals are not the most efficient places to be. Right, that needs to turn because I can see it starting to twist. And now the threads come out the needle. Hey Faisal! We are trying to lengthen the side part of the driveway, which is an alcove which requires digging, and the dang internet cable is right there. Ooh. That sounds fraught with possible things that can go wrong. Are you not valuing at Faisal? Right, does this piece underneath have brown on it as well? Yes, it does. Darn it. Okay, let's change that back then. Hey Liz! How are you? Oh, you're with Liz. Okay. I actually managed a couple of games of, well, a few spike rushes this afternoon. And I was solo queuing because Nick was out. And in one game, I had a really great Sova. He started at the beginning of the agent selection by just going, because I picked Omen straight away, and he was like, "Hey, Omen, oh, I'm so pleased to see you." And I was like, "Okay, hi, yeah, all right." And he kept dropping me guns with, really good skins. And he kept following me around and sort of protecting me. It was obviously his thing. And we were both sort of like at the top of the leaderboard, and he was like, "Oh look, we've got the same amount of kills and the same amount of deaths," and he says, "Oh, we're so the same, we're buddies, we're buddies." And I don't know, I must have been in a really good streak, because I actually ended up as team MVP in that game. And at the end of the game, he was just like, "Oh, I'm going to miss you so much, Omen. Oh, it's been great fun playing with you. Oh, it's been great," and all that stuff. And he signed off, and I thought, oh, okay, so any minute now I'm going to get like a friend request or something. And I didn't get one. He was fun. He was fun to play with. It's nice when you get nice people when you solo queue, because it is such a risk solo queuing, especially as a girl. The amount of times you get into agent selection and you just go, "Hi team," and it suddenly makes everyone go silent, or they decide that they're just going to be mean to you because you just happen to be of the female gender. You never know what you're going to get, as Forrest Gump says. This is Valorant, Artsy. It's a first-person shooter. It's starting to tangle up a bit. You can get some very how should we say, some toxic personalities on it. It's not as bad as CS:GO. I don't announce myself ever on CS:GO. I don't speak. It's just not worth the pain. I play Fortnite every once in a while. And now what about Toxic Players? I've not actually played Fortnite. But I do like Valo. When I first started putting games onto my computer, I was told to put Valo on. What was the other one? What the kids said? Oh, Team Fortress. I played that for a little bit. I haven't played that for ages. I ought to go back and play that and see how good I am now that I've played on Valo for a bit. It's not too bad toxic wise, but I've had many run-ins with other shooters. Yeah, it can be. Fortnite is kind of fun. It's free, but you end up buying skins. I don't buy skins. Do I play any more Stardew? Do you know, I've not played Stardew for a few days. I'm still not quite sure I understand everything about it. I know it's, a simple-ish game. I mean, obviously I've got the most simple version. And I've sort of, I know that you have to sort of work the ground and plant things and then sell things and eat things and catch fish and meet certain people and complete little mini quests and stuff, but it's not holding my attention. I keep telling myself I need to go back to it and play it for a couple of hours maybe, and just in one session and really sort of get into it, but perhaps I ought to do it on here one night, and then as I'm going around, you guys in the chat, you can tell me what I'm meant to be doing. That's if my computer will let me stream a game. I did take the side off my PC today and cleared out all the dust and gave it a good clean on the inside. Before I did it, because I had to move it out from the underside of my computer, the underside of my desk, I lifted it up to move it, and underneath, thankfully dead, had been a massive spider. I mean, I would say it was probably about that big, and it's sort of, when they die and their legs sort of curl up around them, and it had done that, and oh my god, it gave me the shit. I had to sort of get a piece of tissue, and I could feel its body through the tissue, and it was just giving me the heebie-jeebies. I'm just thinking about it now because I'm really badly phobic with spiders. I can't deal. I literally cannot deal with spiders. And even this one was dead, and it was, making me feel really sort of bad. And then Nick gave me one of those, it's like a pressurized container, and it's like an air. It has like that long straw that you stick into the nozzle so you can blow the air. But every time I press the nozzle at the top, it blew out like a wet, white, liquidized sort of spray. And I've read the instructions. No, I mean, how many instructions can there possibly be for press down nozzle? And it just said on the back of the tin, oh, just keep pressing the nozzle until the spray runs clear and you can't see it and it's colourless, and then you can use it on the inside of your machine. And so I sort of stuck it out of the window because it was quite smelly, and was pressing the nozzle, and it just kept having this white spray all the time, this liquidized white thing. So I said to Nick, I said, am I doing something wrong? And he said, well, yeah, you must be. Which was as much help as I got. Yeah, you must be. Maybe don't use it. That's what he said. And so I ended up getting out a torch so I could see into all the nooks and crannies of the computer, and getting my brushes and using the brushes to get out all the dust and stuff that was on the inside of the machine. I take it from your comment then, Otzi, that you have a lot of spiders where you are. This is why I will never go to Australia either. I was just talking about being spider phobic. Big ones that build webs across paths. Ooh. No, that would not. You would not get me to set foot outside if that was happening. I mean, sometimes we will get, in autumn, sort of like October time, we'll get the garden spiders will be quite big. In September they come in the house, because September in the UK is spider season, and you'll get the big massive ones like the ones that you find in your bath, will come in the house, and you'll be sitting in the lounge and you'll suddenly see something out the corner of your eye. There's a big massive black spider running across the carpet. And I swear, you've never seen me move so fast or scream so loud. And I mean, the cats, you think, I have 4 cats in my house. You think that they would catch spiders, but they don't. And it's really annoying. The one cat that did, he's passed now. But Joey used to catch the spiders, and he'd sort of, you could hear him crunching away on their little bodies. Oh my God. They are harmless. Yes, they are very, very harmless. But it doesn't matter. I know they're not harmless. Sorry, they are harmless, but it doesn't make any difference to my phobia. They move too fast, and just thinking about them, I can literally feel them on me already. Just thinking about them, it's just like, oh no, I just don't. Snakes don't bother me. Cockroaches don't bother me. Other insects don't bother me. Daddy long legs, crane flies. I mean, they are technically flying spiders, right? But they don't bother me. Whenever we get daddy long legs in the house, Jack is terrified of those, and so I always have to go and scoop them up in my hand and then sort of, let them out the back door, sort of thing. But spiders, no, absolutely not. I try to ask Nick not to kill them, but to sort of, you know, catch them with like a glass and a bit of paper and put them outside. But oh, thanks, Jamie. Right, I think I need to get a new thread because this one's about to run out. Oh look, it still looks kind of neat on the back. It won't stay this neat forever. Where'd the brown go? There we are. Told you it's a nice slow medium, but there's something so nice about just pushing the needle through and slowly making something come to life. I've ordered myself from Amazon a meter's worth of calico fabric, so that I can work on some of my own designs. To do embroidery on. So calico is just a very sort of basic ecru coloured, so cream coloured fabric. Is really cheap compared to things like cottons or linens or anything like that. And I thought, while I'm still practicing, I thought, well, I'll just see what this calico is like. So I've only bought a meter of it, and if it's no good, if it doesn't work with the stitches, because sometimes, you know, you have to pull some stitches really tight for them to work, or if the warp and the weft in the fabric, if that's too weak and having a stitch in it pulls holes where the needle's gone down, then obviously calico won't be any good. So I've only bought a meter just to see whether it'll be any good. And if it is, then I can start designing some of my own things on it. If not, I will go for a cotton or a sort of linen blend and see how I get on with that. I have actually, thinking about it, I've got some fabrics downstairs in a big container, because when I used to do quilting oh right, okay. Oh, bye Artsman, thanks for joining, see you next week, hydrate. I've got apple and blackberry squash in water, diluted in water. Oh, stretch, okay. And posture check. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're making me feel really... I've been sitting badly. Let me adjust my pillow and my back. Sit upright, like a good little stitcher. Pull too much on that thread. There we go. Thank you, Jamie. It's always a good reminder. You start concentrating on something, and before you know it, you're hunched over, you're about to give yourself a really bad back. You get a crick in your neck. So thank you. So have you got your thing with your mum tomorrow, Jamie? Is it tomorrow or is it Sunday for your mum? We went for a meal with just me and my brother today. Oh, then out with some mates tomorrow. Okay. Do you do flowers or anything? What was your mum's favourite flower? Do you know? You and your brother and your father. Okay. Well, that's nice. I hope you had a lovely meal. You know she liked yellow. Well, that's nice. So maybe like a yellow rose or something would be nice. I know my dad used to like red roses. So when he passed, because my mum kept his ashes, and so we didn't have anywhere to go. We couldn't go to the cemetery to lay flowers or anything like that, and it used to leave me feeling a little bit lost. That I had nowhere just to sort of go and just remember him, and so I decided to get a rose for the back garden. I asked my mum what was my dad's favourite flower, and she says roses. He liked red roses. And I remember once she said, I thought, okay, that makes sense now, because we always had lots of red roses in the garden. My dad was a very keen gardener. And so you get all those like gardening catalogues that come through the door, and there was this one company that just sold rose bushes, and so I looked for any that had his name, and there weren't any with his name, but they had one red rose called Dad, and one red rose called In Loving Memory. And so I got the red rose that was called In Loving Memory, and waited for them to deliver it, and obviously put it in my back garden. And that's going to get caught on that. And I wasn't sure, because I'm not very green fingered, so I didn't know whether this thing was going to survive, but I was determined it was going to flower. I was going to get at least one bloom out of this rose. And on the first year that I had it, it sent out one rosebud. and I was like, oh God, great, it's gonna flower. And it actually fully blossomed on my mum and dad's wedding anniversary, which was really, really sort of poignant and sort of, oh my God, I can't believe it did it on that day, that it fully opened up. And then the year after that, so that was 2021, because I got it the year after he died. In 2022, it flowered again on my mum and dad's wedding anniversary, and I was like, oh my God, this is like so spooky now. This is like really weird. And last year I'd only ever had like one bloom on it, but last year it sent out 6 rosebuds. Some of them bloomed before the anniversary, but there was definitely blooms during the anniversary. And hello, James. James is here. Everyone say hello to James. Yes. Yeah, there he is. Oh, there we go. Are you there? What do you want? Alright, I am stitching a snail from that.
Okay.
What you up to?
Well, just wandering around.
Oh, okay. Are you killing time before... You've got 5 minutes before No Pixel.
Yeah.
Are you in the queue?
I haven't really been playing No Pixel recently.
Oh.
I haven't been feeling it.
Right, okay. But you're alright?
Yeah, just wondering.
Okay. If you're wandering a lot, you could always go downstairs and say to everybody, Mum would really love a cup of tea.
That's a bad play matter. So gotta get it quick.
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it then. It's fine. See you later. So yeah, so this year last year, 2023, it sent out 6 blooms, and it bloomed just before their anniversary, over their anniversary, and for about a week or so after that. And so I've been very, very pleased with this rose bush. Don't know. So we'll see how many I get this year. So Nick's about to go on Valo. So are you guys playing with Nick, or are you about to go hunt him down? Oh, you just invited him. Okay. Are you fully recovered from that flu now, Liz? Fighting fit. Right, this is twirling. Ow! Oh, I just stabbed myself. I always have my finger just here underneath, waiting for the needle to come through so I can guide it, and I just stab myself. Am I bleeding? No. Let's try and force it, because if it doesn't come out straight away... Look. Just tiny little pinprick of red. Right, okay. Damn it, caught on my... Right, so now I'm going to do the lighter brown to sort of fill that in. Just loosely knot this, otherwise it's all just going to come undone. No, not yet. Got a virus on my lungs but can't do anything about it. Oh no. Well, no, because they can't give you antibiotics for a virus, can they? It's only if it's bacterial. So I guess you've just got to sit it out, have you? Oh, that sucks. Right, 14 is this brown. Okay. Just got to wait for it to be over. Oh, God. Those are the sort of things that just linger and linger, don't they? It's just, oh my God, that must be such pain. Right, let me get a single thread of this. I'm still waiting to hear from that writing thing, Jamie. I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything yet? I'm going to keep asking. Have I got a knot in this already? I have, look. And then ping, as if by magic. Not a whisper, it's still ongoing. I have no idea if it's still ongoing with the one that I submitted to. I don't know if they will answer everybody or whether they will let everybody know where they are, whether they've been rejected, or whether they would just, not bother, because they'll be just like, well, we had so many replies, we had so much interest, we can't possibly answer everybody, and they'll just put out like a general tweet or something. Oh, you're a star. Did you make it or Dad?
I did half.
Okay. You used my...
Yeah, Dad did all that bit, I just added the water and bring it.
Right, okay. Okay, let me try it. Hang on, let's see. It's not half bad. Okay. James can make tea, everybody. Let's add it to his roster of skills. Big up James on the tea. He never makes me tea. Actually, according to Nick, James just delivered the tea. Right. I'm going to do the snail body and then I'm going to do the snail shell, I think. For a long time, my kids were not very good at making tea because they don't really drink tea or coffee. They'll have it occasionally, but it was never something that they were really good at making. The worst time, oh my God, the worst time, this lives very strongly in my memory. But James can carry a tea upstairs. Yeah, multitasking. It was Mother's Day. And I'd only got 3 of the kids, but I was very early on in the pregnancy with Jack. And it was that stage, very early on, where morning sickness was a real threat. And as you know, I have this huge fear of vomiting or feeling sick. I'm a completely emetophobic. I'm really, really bad. And I remember being advised that if you didn't want to be sick in the morning from morning sickness, before you get up, before you move, eat a biscuit or something, because generally the nausea is caused by hunger and hunger makes it worse. And so I used to have this packet of ginger nuts at the side of my bed. And I'd been feeling pretty rough for a few mornings, and it got to Mother's Day morning, and Nick had said to me, don't get up, we'll bring you up a cup of tea and everything, you stay in bed, you relax and everything, and you know, celebrate Mother's Day. So I was like, hey, okay, great. And I woke up and Nick was already gone, and I could hear them downstairs, I could hear noises in the kitchen, and I sort of reached over and I sort of had my ginger nut, and then I heard them coming up the stairs, and they were really, really little, because obviously I had 4 under the age of 5, so James must have been 4, the twins must have been 3. And they came in bearing this tray, and there was a mug of tea on it that looked really, really, how can I say, it looked like the tea bag had gone near the cup but not actually in the cup. And they'd made me breakfast, and they'd poured a bowl of Frosties cereal and then wanted to decorate it, but they couldn't think of what to decorate it, so the kids looked in the fridge. I found some cherry tomatoes, so they thought that would look pretty, so they put cherry tomatoes on top of the Frosties, poured milk all over it, and brought it upstairs to me with this rank looking cup of tea. And they were so pleased with themselves. And I thought, well, I've got to try it and go, yeah, lovely. But I was feeling so sick, so sick. And I had to have this cup of tea and this weird Frosties, cherry tomato and milk sort of combo. Yes, Becca. Oh, yeah, you did. And so I was like, thank God I'd already eaten the ginger nuts, because that's kind of settled me a little bit. And I took a sip of the tea and I went, yeah, oh, this is lovely. And I had a little bit of the cereal. I didn't have the tomato, but I had the Frosty and the milk. And I was like, okay, you go downstairs and watch telly. Leave Mummy to have some peace and quiet, because I was thinking, there's no way I'm eating this whole bowl. There's no way I'm eating this. But yeah, that's the one that lives in my memory. I'm sure I've told you that story, Becca. I don't think you would remember it. You were only 3. But they were so proud, bless them, because they'd made it all by themselves. You could make a banging cup of Rosie Lee before you could walk. Oh, okay. I don't think I've had Mother's Day in bed since. I wasn't sure I wanted to follow that up. Bless them. I would have been made to make it again and told off for wasting a tea bag. Oh, I think there's been a close call downstairs. I can hear Nick going, whoa. I bet that's how Becca still makes her tea. No, Becca makes a good cup of tea. She just doesn't have them very often, not really. Do you still have cups of tea, Becca? I know she gets a big mug of squash. He won a 1v1 with an amazing play. Oh, okay. Excellent. I had one daily for a year now. Wow. How long would one cup of tea last me, Becca? I have loads of tea. But I don't drink squash and I don't drink fizzy drinks. And so I will have tea all the time, even on piping hot days in the middle of our hot summer. I will have hot cups of tea and hot cups of coffee. She's upped her tea game. I think if you're British, you've got to have a good tea game. It just comes with the territory. I saw a really disgusting TikTok the other day, and it was like how the British make their tea, and it was like, I don't know, they sort of like put a load of milk, some water, some sugar, and I'm assuming tea bags into a blender and blended it. I don't know when they added, I mean, because they couldn't have put a tea bag in a blender because that just would have cut it up. So it's just, I don't know. But it was really weird. It's like, no, that is not how the British make tea. So here we go then, Jamie. Controversial question for you. Do you put the milk in before the hot water or after hot water? No, you're his fave, Becca. Bag, water, take out bag, milk. It's controversial. I put the bag in, the sugar, the milk, then I add the water, then I take the bag out. Yes, milk before water. Absolutely. This is the way. No, no. It's how I've always made it, and it's actually how I have to make it now because I'm vegan. I don't actually have cow's milk, and so I have rice milk in my drinks. And a lot of the plant-based milks, if you just put them into hot water, they will curdle and split. So you have to have the milk in the cup, so that once the kettle's boiled, you just put in a tiny drip of hot water so that there's a higher milk ratio to water, so that the milk slightly warms first, and then you can pour in the rest of the water so that the milk doesn't split and curdle. I've always made it wrong. No. No. Because if you don't have the milk in the cup first, you can't judge the strength from the tea bag. If you've got the milk in, you can see how strong you've made the tea. It's not that milky. No, I don't like milky drinks. It only has a little splash of milk at the bottom. Same with coffee. Milk goes in first. Splitting the purists now. It's the same damn strength if you use the same tea bag. Yeah, I know, but sometimes the tea bag, it has to brew, doesn't it? And sometimes it takes absolutely freaking forever for the flavour to come out the tea bag sometimes. And I use PG Tips, so I use the same brand as you. I know you use PG, and it's just sometimes the flavour doesn't come out of the bag, and so you have to keep stirring it and pressing it with the spoon so you can see how the milk changes colour to see whether you've got a strong cup of tea or whether you've got a weak cup of tea. Absolutely. You're just upset because you lack the skills for knowing how much milk you need to add before the water. Oh dear. I've got to finish my tea now before it goes cold. 6 seconds of milk. 6 seconds of milk? What the hell is 6 seconds of milk? You don't pour the milk for 6 seconds. That'd fill the whole cup. You just go, splash, that's it. That's as much milk as you need. Splash. That's it. What is 6 seconds of milk? Becca, how are we talking to this person? 6 seconds? It's just when the milk starts to change the colour. No, 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 it's got to go really it's got to go dark brown. So the tea has really started to change the colour. 6 seconds is way too long. Oh my god, Jamie. Oh, make a cup of tea, take a photo of it, and stick it on the Discord so we can see what it looks like. I want to see what the perfect cup of tea looks like for you. You're livid. Make a cup of tea. Show us what it looks like. Okay, take a picture, stick it on my Discord. Tell me when you've done it. I'm gonna have a look to see what you think a perfect cup of tea looks like. Oh dear. Battles have been fought over tea, I'm sure. Done. Right, okay, let me go and have a look. Yeah, you see, now that is the sort of cup of tea that I would drink. So that sort of colour is exactly the sort of colour that I would have. How do you get 6 seconds of milk out of that? I mean, I don't understand because to me that looked like the perfect strength of tea. A slow 6 seconds. When you say 6 seconds, does that include you milking the cow? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, your cup is overflowing with milk. How big is the opening to your milk carton? Is it like a pinhead? I don't know. I don't know how you're making it. I think how you're making this. I really don't. Film it next time. Okay. And then we can all count the perfect pour. Six seconds of dribble. Six seconds is something. Well, I'd better look at my reference picture and just make sure I'm doing this or I'm so busy arguing about tea. I've just been merrily stitching away and not checking my reference picture. Oh, why won't this go in? There we go. I can, I just choose not to. Milk. Yes, milk before water. Everyone knows it's the right way. How dare you! Take that back! Oh, I've never been so insulted in my life. Oh gosh, what's coming then? Look at that, that goes all the way through. Oh god, that's not happy about going all the way through. There we go. We put something up there. Hang on. Done? What have you done? I don't see nothing. No, I do not put the milk in before my cereal. No. Should I make you go even more weird? Because Nick can't have milk in his cereal. He has hot water. Boiling hot water. Why put it? Because it's how I've always done it. It's how my parents used to do it. It is the way. It is more efficient, as Becca says. In what world? In our world. What do they say? Let's see. Let's just see. According to science, should you put the milk in first? Right, so let's have a look. It's an age-old argument and one which never seems to let up, despite it coming down to preference. The origins of putting the milk in first, some authorities believe, may be down to the fact that China was thought to crack and break if hot tea was poured into it, which is highly erroneous as China is surprisingly robust. However, since temperamental China isn't an issue in most households today, this argument is no longer in hands of the general public, and it has been settled by science. Based on research conducted by Loughborough University, it has been confirmed that putting the milk in before the hot tea is the correct way to make a brew. Woo! Sorry to those of you who've been putting the milk in last all this time, you've been doing it wrong. This somewhat bold claim is all down to the milk heating unevenly when poured into hot tea. So, just so I can cite my sources, there you go. Just in case, it's been proved by science. Jamie, You're just gonna have to change it now to do it properly. You made me Google it. You made me Google it. Oh dear. It's just that, when you know, right? I knew I didn't have to have science tell me, but you made me look it up. Actually, that's a fallacy. Science never thought the earth was flat. That was just people. Thick people. Scientists never thought the earth was flat. It was the uneducated masses that thought the earth was flat. You should have said science thought the smallest thing was an atom, and then they split the atom. Oh, I don't know, Jamie, you're being schooled here tonight. I'm restraining myself, so all I'm going to say is I respectfully disagree. Okay. We can respectfully disagree. Jamie isn't a fan of facts, to be fair. Well, when you tell one back up, I'll let you know. Okay. So when you drink your tea, Jamie, here's another question then. When you drink your tea, do you drink all the way to the bottom? Or do you leave like a bit at the bottom? I always leave a bit at the bottom. And I think it's just because that's what I used to see my mum and dad do. And I don't think there's any reason for it. I think it probably just goes back to when there used to be loose tea leaves, and all the loose tea leaves would sit at the bottom. My parents never used to like to drink those, and so they just leave a bit at the bottom of their cups, and always have done, even when they moved to tea bags. And it's just something I can't bring myself to do. I just can't bring myself to drink the bottom bit, so I always leave a bit. Take a sip and dash the rest out. Right, I think I'm going to finish this tentacle. Is it a tentacle? No, it's the eye stalks, isn't it? Still not right. So when you go out with your mates this weekend then, Jamie, you can ask them the big T question. Run a general consensus with your mates. I think I'm going to do this, finish this tentacle, and then I'll see what they're all up to at Valo. Thankfully they're all correct. They put, oh, you've already checked, have you? Don't want to be out drinking with Philistines. I bring the needle through over here, then I know where I'm starting next time. Right, that I think is where I'm going to leave it this evening. So we got a little start on the shell, and we got the snail body, and we got the snail eye stalky things, which I'm sure have a proper name, and I'm now going to have to Google to find out what those names are. Um, but yes, so thank you so much for joining me. Tea Drinkers Unite. Um, Thank you so much. I appreciate you spending time with me, even though I make my tea wrong, apparently, according to Jamie. And I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. So take care, everybody. Look after yourselves, and I will see you next week. Bye.